Judge is a better version of Brock Lesnar.
What is something you love as much as the Sherman Bears love wiping?
As an opposing fan, you'd probably see his face and want to sock him between the cracks.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Losses Above Replacement World Cup Edition, because baseball doesn't exist, and basketball doesn't exist, and hockey doesn't exist, and in fact, no sport exists. Also, soccer doesn't exist either, so congratulations, no sports anymore. It's COVID 2.0.
So what you're trying to say is this is now turning into a Pokemon podcast here.
Stop.
Can't confirm.
Constantly.
Stop. I would like to appreciate Mr. Congo. There's a Dr. Congo with the World Cup. I am Mr. Congo today. So congratulations.
I mean, shout out to the Congo, man. The soccer team, they did great today, I think. You know, I know they didn't win, but a draw against a team like Portugal, that's pretty cool. And also shout out to Cape Verde. That was awesome. I know they didn't score anything, but they also kept Spain off the board. So yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not a big soccer guy, but it's been pretty awesome seeing all the World Cup stuff with the fans from all around the world, especially in the States, discovering all these crazy American things. Shout out to the Tartan Army in particular. They are back at Fenway Park tonight, apparently. Every clip I see of them at Fenway or at a baseball game gets better and better. I'm glad to see that they're having a grand old time going to baseball games.
It's absolutely beautiful. I will say I've not been watching a whole ton of the World Cup, but I'm scared for Friday. Friday is going to be a very busy day in Seattle because you have USA versus Australia, and you also have Mariners v. Red Sox. So there's a lot of things.
Downtown's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm staying away as much as I want to. There's a part of me that wants to be part of it because of being able to just love what is going on here. But at the same time, I legitimately feel like I would leave hurt. Like something would happen that would just leave me on the ground. There.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about this parade happening tomorrow, because it is going to be basically the entire island of Manhattan gathered in a 1 mile radius. And I would love to go to it. At the same time, it probably isn't going to be the safest space. I'm sure the energy is going to be great, but like I said, it's 7 million people probably gathered in 1 mile radius. You're literally not allowed to bring anything in. There's gonna be there's gonna be nothing around basically. I think the most I would be able to bring in is a water bottle, and if I run out of water, I basically have no way to refill it. So yeah, as much as I would love to attend tomorrow, it's kind of playing a dangerous game there.
I do hear though that my main boy Dan Hausman is going to be at the parade, and I think
he is.
No, he is.
I'd believe it.
I'm so happy for him. The dude is such a baller. Yeah, he's the exact opposite of what Splash is doing right now. But
in fact, instead of the opposite is actually to the exponent. It is not simply 2 thumbs down. It is 2 to the 4 thumbs down, which is 16.
That's a big number.
I mean, I think the biggest rivalry we now have is me versus Splash when it comes to everything. It feels like.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
well, actually, I have a greater rivalry, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
It is All-Star voters versus brain power.
Yep.
So, if you were living under a rock on Sunday or this weekend, Major League Baseball announced the first round of All-Star balloting has not been completed, but they wanted to give an update. They wanted to tell the fans how they were doing, and they're not doing so hot.
No, they are not.
Can't confirm. They're doing the opposite of that, actually. It's pretty cold.
We begin with some absolute tomfoolery. Shades of 2015 Royal Syndrome. We have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leading the way at first base for the American League. Yikes.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. obviously is a very fine baseball player.
Yeah.
But this year, he has hit 3 home runs, if I'm not mistaken. His OPS is 726. Good for him. He's drawing more walks than strikeouts, but his slugging percentage is lower than his on-base percentage. That's a good thing if you're a speed demon, like a guy like, I don't know, Chandler Simpson or back in the day, Billy Hamilton. But
Chandler Simpson hasn't stolen a base in over a month.
And that is mildly concerning to me.
That is extremely concerning, yes.
It's very weird.
Injured at one point. That's my point, though, is that you expect that from a guy who's a speedster, not a guy like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Meanwhile, there's a gentleman who goes by Big Amish, Sacramento, who has an OPS over 1,000 and is leading the league leading the majors in RBIs, walks, and on-base percentage. And there's also Ben Rice, who is right up there with him, has 20 home runs already. So, respectfully to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the fine people of Toronto and of Canada, there are 2 far more deserving first basemen in the American League compared to Mr. Guerrero.
Yeah, it just proves again more and more here that all-star voting is and will always be, will always be just a popularity contest. Like, there are some players that will, make it here. I appreciate, the people that are popular enough to make it in, and all that fun stuff. I honestly look more forward to the reserves being announced because those are the players that I think truly deserve it more than anything. Like, you're going to see some of these guys, like, if Ben Rice does not win the first base vote, he's still going to go to the All-Star game. It just will be as a reserve. If, Nick Kurtz doesn't make it to as the primary vote getter, he's probably still going to be a reserve here. And that's what I honestly look forward to most because, yeah, I agree. And I don't want to be, I don't want to beat the dead horse here, but the voting doesn't really matter. Like, it really doesn't because it is a popularity contest at the end of the day. You're going to see the same names, usually year in, year out, and you are going to, unless, like, some massive thing happens, like, I don't know, this one player decides to hit 70 home runs in a month. Then that would probably sway the voting. But until then, until that moment, you're going to see guys like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leading the first base vote. You're going to see guys like Bobby Witt leading the shortstop vote. I'm not saying that one's not deserved. I want to be very clear because that one is very much deserved. But what I'm saying is you're going to see a lot of names that you already know that that every baseball, you can even say fan, but like even the casual fans probably know these guys. Like, again, an Aaron Judge or a Mike Trout. Not saying they don't deserve it. I'm saying here is that if you ask a random baseball fan on the street, they're much more likely to know names like Aaron Judge and Mike Trout than they are to know Cody Bellinger, Byron Buxton, or Riley Green.
I mean, that's fair. I would contend there's a better argument that Guerrero is the least deserving of the AL East first baseman than most deserving. With Rice. Yeah. Alonso's been fine. Wilson Contreras has been quite good.
He had a great Alonso had a great play at first base yesterday to rob an extra base hit.
So, yeah, I mean, Contreras has been really good. I would like to take a victory lap, but Boston stinks. So there's that. But I would also argue that Vladdy is not the worst case of Toronto turning into 2015 Kansas City, as Ernie Clement mans the Keystone. And not only mans the Keystone, has over 3 times as many votes as the second place Ezekiel Duran. Over 900,000. Duran's under 300,000, followed by Travis Pisano, Jose Altuve, and Jazz Chisholm. This one is just like egregious. Like, what are we doing? I get it that it's a weak crop, but if Duran had 3 extra cycles to accumulate votes, he wouldn't catch Clement. It's pretty preposterous. I just don't. I get it, but I also don't get it. And I do want to, I'm going to give 1% of a, not a pushback, but 1% like defense for Toronto fans. You can't really vote for Clement to be anything after the playoff run. So if you have something of a residual effect, this is part of the 2015 Royals thing that your fans are so excited that you have a good team, that they just went to the World Series and they were about about to win a World Series. I get part of it, but the Blue Jays aren't even particularly good this season. I guess depending on what day it is, they occupy the 6th seed in the American League. But it's just it's been a real disappointment, and you can see Boston voting is suppressed. Juan Soto is not in the National League outfield. Why is that? Probably because the Mets are hot garbage unless they're facing Spencer Strider. I just what are we doing, Toronto?
Well, I'm going to say that Clement is at least it's less egregious in my opinion than the Guerrero situation because
I agree there.
Clement, second base is a weaker position, and Clement, I mean, he does have bold text on his baseball reference page. He does lead in doubles. He's sitting around 300. Is he better than Duran? Nah, probably not. Is he better than is he even better than Travis Bazzana? I'm not even sure about that. I mean, Bazzana has slowed down in recent weeks, but and you look at, I'm going to go beyond just the leaders right now. They somehow have Andres Gimenez, George Springer, both among finalists. If the voting were to end today, they would be finalists at shortstop and DH. Both those guys have been well below average this year. And then Alejandro Kirk, who missed significant time on the injured list, is currently second among catchers. I mean, this is, again, it's a popularity contest. I mean, Kirk, you look at some of the guys he's ahead of, Adley Rutschman, Dylan Dingler, Ryan Jeffers. I mean, these are all guys who have way, way, way outperformed him. And then you look at the shortstops. I mean, Kevin McGonigal, Colson Montgomery. I mean, I'd even throw J.P. Crawford, Zach Neto in there. DHs, I mean, I don't know how, Springer is ahead of a guy like Yandy Diaz, Samuel Basayo. I mean, Dom Canzone is on here too. Like Canzone, Chase DeLauder. I know he just got hurt and he slumped, but like these guys have all outperformed Springer. And I'm gonna throw this over to the National League where you look at some of these results here, and Bryson Stott and Alec Boehm right now are runner-up at their respective positions. Respectively to both of those guys, they are below average offensively. Third base is a weak position, admittedly, but in the second base race, I don't know how Bryce Terang is not in the top two right now. Luis Ariz, Brandon Lau, Ketel Marte, Xavier Edwards, JJ Weatherholt. Those are all guys who are way, way, way better than Bryson Stott right now. But the Phillies have a rabid fan base. So obviously they're going to rack up a lot of votes. And, as frustrating as it is to see Juan Soto not in the top 6 right now, some of the guys up there, I mean, Jordan Walker has been great this year. Brandon Marsh is having a complete career renaissance right now. So it's different, I think, with the National League outfield because there's so many deserving candidates. But yeah, sometimes I wonder if fan voting is maybe going a little too far.
I mean, it is. Like, I think there's ample proof that it has here. Again, bring it back to the American League. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is your leader at first base, and he's not even the best first baseman in his division. Like, that's unfortunately just how it is. But at the same time, right, there are some names that I'm very happy are getting votes and actually are leading. Andy Pages with the Dodgers has been absolutely money. Max Muncy with the Dodgers has been money. But think about the second thing I said during each of those. Dodgers. The Dodgers right now have probably one of the biggest fan bases in the world, given, multiple World Series in the last couple of years. Shohei Ohtani. You get the point here. But what I'm saying here is that there are definitely teams that their fan base is what is driving some of these players. Again, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Ernie Clement, further proof of this here. So I don't fully know. Like, I don't want to put too much stock into the vote of this. Like I said earlier, the real all-stars will be in after the stars are taken out of the game, because they are the reserves that will be announced here that once, there's going to be injury reserves, the extra reserves, all that fun stuff. That is where you're going to see the players that truly deserve it get their say. Like, that's where you're going to see guys, like, I don't know, like Bryce Strider, like Luis Ariz, that will probably make the all-star team in some way, shape, or form. here, which again, by the way, if you would have said at the beginning of the year that Luis Reyes here would be a major all-star representative here, I would not have believed you. We'll get into that conversation a little bit later, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like totally fraudulent. Like there are some deserving like guys who I would vote for who are leading, the Bobby Witts of the world. Muncie is perfectly reasonable. CJ Abrams is perfectly reasonable. Andy Pajes is perfectly reasonable. I would even argue Brandon Marsh is perfectly reasonable. Obviously, Drake is great. Otani, okay. Jordan, a lot of those are great. The one thing that does kind of grind my gears over the course of voting ends up being like the historical aspect of it, that like these things, these accolades, these awards go on the ledger, right? They go on baseball reference pages. They go on maybe not Hall of Fame plaques, depending on the Hall of Famer, but these things end up mattering. And the difference in, say, I'll use Ronald as an example. He's had years that he didn't deserve to be an all-star. I would argue last year he had the play of an all-star, did not play enough games to be an all-star, but I said, hey, he's going to be an all-star. He's the best hitting National League outfielder right now, but he just didn't have enough games played. Well, this year he's been hurt twice now, and he's been an above average hitter, but not like an all-star level hitter, but he in all likelihood is going to make the all-star game. He's going to be among the leading vote getters in the National League. And like on one hand, yes, you're acknowledging there's some years like 2020, he was an all-star level player. There was no all-star game. So it kind of balances out, but you get these extra nods for the popular players, and more unpopular players are not going to get the same love. And that can be frustrating. And yes, the reserves take care of a lot of the pieces, but use an example. If Ernie Clement starts at second base in the American League, that is taking up a second base slot. How many other second basemen are you going to put in? You're not going to put in likely more than 2, potentially 3 if you can like shoehorn in like Duran as a utility player, just as an example, not saying 4 guys deserve it, but there's positions like Vlad making it in all likelihood means that one of, if not more of Rice, Murakami, Kurtz don't make it. And that
probably it definitely bumps Contreras out then too.
Yes, exactly. That you have deserving players who are bumped out, and maybe it doesn't matter at the end of the year. Maybe Vlad turns it on, or maybe like a Fernando Tatis who's not in the voting right now, but maybe he turns it on and it ends up being, oh yeah, it makes sense that he was an all-star. Or Guerrero makes sense he was an all-star. Ronald, it makes sense he was an all-star. But for every one of those cases, you have this a case of maybe they don't pick it up. Like Austin Riley's like 4th in National League third base. He's been putrid this season. And maybe that ages poorly, and maybe he turns it around in the second half. But also, maybe he just stinks the entire season. Maybe Alec Boehm stinks the entire season. Maybe, Ronald has like just a 120 OPS plus instead of a 160 OPS plus. So that can kind of wear you down from a historical aspect. When I look at these things and you see, a bunch of stars, on a page, you think, oh yeah, this was a real and legitimate all-star every year. And it's like, sometimes it's not true.
Yeah. And again, one thing that I find really funny here, especially I'm looking at the shortstop voting here, and it feels like on this point that number 1 is obvious here. It's Bobby Witt, and that's fine. That's fully okay here. But I'm looking at the rest of the names here, and it's just like, oh, Andres Jimenez, nothing wrong with him, but a step down. Kevin McGonigal is having a great rookie year. Good on him. That's awesome. Also has a 4th of the votes that Bobby Witt has. Coastal Montgomery is next, and Jeremy Pena. Like, that's one of the problems I do have when it comes to a lot of this, is that there are definitely positions where you are lucky to have even 1, maybe 2 people here that could be like worthy of it. And then you have some where there's like 5, 6, 7 that are all absolutely fantastic here, that all truly deserve it here. And that's what makes a lot of it hard, because I don't think there's any reason why a guy like Murakami should not make the all-star team this year with how well he has been playing. I don't think there's a world out there in which Nick Kurtz doesn't deserve it, or Ben Rice does not make the all-star team for what they're doing. That's that's just going to first baseman. Like, it's so weird to try and judge a lot of this because you know that there's two rules that you always have to abide by. One, the winner of each position makes the all-star team. That's just easy, right? That makes sense. And then it's that every team has at least one representative. That's the other key point here, and that's what's going to make it so, guys like Luis Reyes might be making it on that point because, I mean, we're going to talk about the Giants a little bit later on here, but Luis Reyes has the second most baseball reference WAR of all San Francisco Giants. The only one that has more than he does here is Matt Chapman here, which I don't know about you guys, but third base feels a little bit locked down right now in the National League. Here, something Max Muncy, but that's what makes honestly the All-Star period itself almost kind of tragic in a way, because there are a lot of players that deserve it, some that do not. But at the end of the day, like I do have a little bit of pushback on something that was said a moment ago here, that this goes on your accolades here. If you make it in as an All-Star, I don't think it does discriminate, at least on Baseball Reference, whether or not you were voted in or put in as a reserve.
No, it doesn't. But still, you have like the All-Star star. You have the star next to your name.
Yeah. Like this is an extreme example. Miguel Cabrera's last season All-Star.
Yeah.
1927 Babe Ruth, not an All-Star.
Yeah.
Now, that's because the All-Star game didn't exist.
Didn't exist yet, yeah.
That's the point of the extreme example, that it's denoted as such. There are, like Jimmy Rollins wasn't an All-Star his MVP season. Now, again, we have a future 2007 MVP race discussion, but you can win the MVP and not be an All-Star that season for a variety of reasons. And then you have the popularity sort of votes.
Yeah. So I mean, about the one team, or like the one representative for each team, some of them I think are going to get taken care of in the All-Star voting. I mean, realistically, Mike Trout is probably, at this rate with Soriano falling off, Trout's probably going to be the only Angel. Bobby Witt is probably going to be the only Royal, and then Riley Green could be the only Tiger. I mean, I think McGonagall probably makes it, but there's a chance one of those guys is their only rep. Then you'll have a team like, the Rangers, I know, are sort of hovering in that awkward spot, but that's where it's going to be. Are you going to take a pitcher like Jacob Latz or Jacob deGrom, or are you going to take the position players? I think it is what makes this infinitely harder, because I feel like are far fewer opportunities there for your lone rep to be a position player, as opposed to, all right, let's take the best pitcher on your team and fill out a pitching staff. And you got to remember also, there are going to be a number of injury replacements, stuff like that. So there are plenty of opportunities for guys to still make the team. It's just they might not be on the initial roster.
Sure, and that's fair. And that's at a certain point, guys are going to get in there. There's always going to be an undeserving All-Star. There's always going to be a snub. We can discuss that in about 3 or 4 weeks when ballots finish and everything's announced, and we can quibble with this guy made it in over that guy. And most of them are fair. And I do want to make a broader point. If you say there's a snub, sure, tell me who should be left out. That's we have the same conversation with the college football playoff, March Madness, whatever tournament like that. Oh yeah, Notre Dame should have been put in. Who are you taking out? Exactly. Speaking of Notre Dame, they are frauds. So I have a Georgia Tech Pop-Tart Bowl helmet now. It would have been a Notre Dame one, but they were frauds and said, I don't want to play in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Disrespectful. Yeah. Mac, true. I heard through the grapevine you have a question for us.
Yes, I do. I have the question of the day. It's sort of I guess we could call this a two-pronged question of the day. So I'm going to ask you guys your favorite swing of all time, and your favorite pitching motion of all time.
Okay. This is actually pretty easy for me.
Yep.
Swing. The kid. Ken Griffey Jr. swing. Yep. Absolutely legendary. Swing man, for gosh sakes. I'm going to go a little bit more fun, though, for my pitching motion here. And I'm going to go Johnny Cueto. I loved Johnny Cueto doing the part where he could basically just turn his motion into whatever he wanted, did the little swivel whenever he wanted, just to have a little bit of fun. I loved watching him pitch. It was basically like watching a day at the park. You know, you were going to have fun watching Cueto pitch a game, even when he got to his older ages.
Okay, I'm going to give you two separate answers. When I am playing, I use the Gary Sheffield swing, obviously.
Yes.
And pitching, I pull in a Aroldis Chapman. Arms and legs, everything is moving, all the momentum every single time. So Chapman on the mound, Sheffield at the plate. But just aesthetically, I have a particular fondness for Ricky Weeks' batting stance.
Yep.
MLB Power Pros 2008 legend. It's very similar to Griffey's, I would say, from the right side. Will Clark also has a very sweet swing. But pitching, you can't get better than Louis Tiant. Just the pivot, you see the back of the jersey, it's beautiful. Other shout outs to Hideo Nomo. I like Yamamoto's delivery quite a lot.
Oh, yeah, he has really clean mechanics. Yeah.
Like Mets DeGrom was just like smooth, effortless, like just pumping. I miss old Strider. The way he like stood on the mound is just like really strange, but it worked. And I'm very sad that he's gone off the deep end.
You can see his quads as like as detailed as humanly possible in that stance.
Yes. And I can appreciate the Paul Bird with the old timey, the hand swing, the over the head.
Yeah.
Just you love a good wind up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of do the splash thing here and like pick a couple different answers because you got righty swings, lefty swings. I'd say my favorite righty swing of all time is Mike Piazza. Beautiful, smooth right-handed swing. Left-handed, I'm gonna stick to the 2000s Mets, and this guy I feel like is sort of underrated here. Cliff Floyd had a beautiful left-handed swing.
Yeah.
So big Cliff Floyd fan. And on the pitching side of things, I'm going to give you the unconventional one, and this is going to surprise absolutely nobody. It's Chad Bradford, man.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. Waiting for it.
Love Chad Bradford. Obviously, those of you who have seen me throw in real life and all that know that I have tried my best to get down to the Chad Bradford level. I'd say I'm in between Chad Bradford and I'd say it's more like Darren O'Day. But in terms of like a conventional pitching motion, Justin Verlander. Specifically his older days when he was Detroit had like just perfect mechanics in my opinion. So yeah,
I'll give a couple of answers because I just gave two then because I had a couple that came to my mind as well. Pitching wise, here Daisuke Machizaka.
Love Daisuke.
His motion where it just started like I am staring you down, and it goes slow, fast, slow, so fast, and it was fun to watch that guy pitching motion. And then from a batting perspective, it's weird because all of my favorite swings are lefty swings because I just think the lefties swing the bat it's such a fun way here to pick a righty at the very least. I'm going to go with Adrian Beltre. His swing had so much power to it, and the fact that he could go down onto a knee and still make contact, like beautiful, absolutely fantastic.
What's the worst swing? I have
Todd Frazier. Oh my god, I'm sorry, man. The dude, I don't know how he hit the ball so far. How he won a home run derby. Dude stepped in the bucket like crazy.
I'm trying to think of who does have
Ozzy's lefty swing is just like a super wide. It's very strange. Weird. I mean, you can tell he's selling out to pull fly balls, but that's always been a goofy one.
Can I take a cheap shot on that here too? Here, Bartolo Colon.
Does that count?
He had to swing the bat.
I know.
I love Big Sexy. I love him so much, but my word, that swing was bad.
Yeah, he didn't really like swinging the bat. It's just that one time he happened to connect and hit a ball out.
The broadcaster
said it's like the impossible has happened, and if you looked at his swing, you would absolutely know why.
Yeah, you knew that if he just made contact, he could hit the ball pretty far, but like he would do his best to go up to the plate and not swing the bat.
Yeah,
it'd be like that. Well, one thing that some people are trying, the Seattle Mariners, they said one piggyback was not enough. They want to have a whole family of piggybacks. So now their entire rotation is piggybacking. I have my own ideas how I would do this, how I would make it work. We're going to go to the resident Mariners fan. One, is he going to cope? Two, explain.
Man, you actually cut out for me first time. What was the first thing you said on that? What was the first thing you said on that? Because it cut out for me.
Number one, is he going to cope? Number two, explain.
Oh, am I going to cope? Maybe. No. Okay. So for those of you that do not know what the piggyback is, it is starting your starting pitcher for going for about 4, maybe 5 innings, and then having another starting pitcher finish out the rest of the game. So it becomes a 2-pitcher system, and that makes some level of sense. When you look at it just purely like that, it makes sense. Seattle tried this earlier when you had Bryce Miller coming back from injury here, and when you had Luis Castillo, that was kind of struggling a little bit, and no one liked it. A grand total of 0 people liked it, and so they decided, you know what? We have 6 starting pitchers on our roster that are all amazing. They all are doing really, really good. Let's just have them all pitch. And so they were going to go to a 6-man rotation, did that one way through, and realized, oh, wait, we don't like having an extra day of waiting period here in between next ones because it throws off your routines. So now they are doing a piggyback with everyone. As in, how it works is through the first time through the rotation, it'll be like the 6th man. That'll be the piggyback here along with the 5th. And then I think it's the 5th with the 4th, the 4th, the 3rd, and so on and so forth. I don't know how much I like this because it's so weird. It also takes away a lot of starts from some of your starters here because now you're making them technically relievers in a weird shape. But I don't know. This, I legitimately feel, has the potential to be the perfect balancing act for a team that has so much depth at starting pitcher. It has the potential to be that perfect balancing act. It also has the potential to be the first nail in the coffin of Seattle not repeating as American League West champions. This is something that legitimately can destroy the rotation if not done correctly. But I will give them this. It was announced during the press conference that this decision was not just made out of nowhere. Every one of the starting pitchers agreed to it. That they're like, yeah, we're down to at least try this here. So this is going to be an experiment. This is going to be kind of weird here because we're going to be seeing some very odd pitching performances, but the upsides are absolutely obvious for it. You get to save your bullpen a little bit more. You get to have more quality pitchers in your 26-man roster. And even more so, now you get to save your arms a little bit more for down the line here. The obvious issue is, how is it going to work? Will it work? Will you have pitchers that will have say a pitcher is going 5 innings scoreless, giving up 1 hit, but it's their turn of the piggyback. Are you really going to bench him right there? Are you really going to just say, it's great, it's fine. His day is done. Why? If you have a guy that's on a no-hitter or a perfect game, are you going to continue on with the piggyback in that way? You definitely shouldn't. But again, I digress. This move, I think, has so much potential to it. The problem is, the best way to describe it, I feel, is that you have a full powder keg in your hand. It has the potential to either explode in your face or become something beautiful.
Yeah, I really don't know what to make of this here, because the Mariners have this starting pitching depth, but you look at it and some of the guys just have not performed to standards. I feel like Luis Castillo has been the most disappointing. I mean, watching up close on Saturday, he really just does not have the same stuff he used to. Really, it's been a struggle for him. Brian Wu and George Kirby are also not pitching to standards, in my opinion. Emerson Hancock has been great. I know he was roughed up his last time out, but he's still been much better than anyone could have asked for. And then Logan Gilbert is holding his own. He probably just had his best outing of the year last night. And then Bryce Miller's been fantastic. But, the first time we saw them try this piggyback experiment with Miller starting and Castillo coming out of the bullpen, they tried it where Miller threw 6 innings, and then they left Castillo in probably too long. And that's the thing is you bring your other starting pitcher into the game in the 7th inning. Bring it, that's your starter's first inning of the night, and it's the 7th inning, and you're trying to get them through 3 innings with a slim lead. That's a very dangerous game to play. So I like the concept. I know also the Mariners are all sorts of beat up in the bullpen. I know that for the most part, it's actually been all right, but Matt Brash is out for a while. Andres Munoz has struggled big time this year. Not really sure what's going on there. So I guess it's not a bad idea to have some of your starters also just in there in the bullpen. But then you have this starting pitching depth in the minors. Cade Anderson has been basically like a cheat code in AA, and I'm fully expecting him to be in the majors in the next couple of months. And then you have Ryan Sloan, who's also close to major league ready. So it's a whole conundrum. It's never a bad thing to have too much pitching. Maybe they trade a little bit from it, although it doesn't sound like that's the game plan currently. But if you need more offense, maybe you have to sacrifice some pitching. But they have so much depth. I see why they're doing it. I just don't know how they're going to execute it.
Yeah, that's the big question.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, if you can believe it, I support what the Seattle Mariners are doing. And I have an even wilder statement to follow. I cannot believe it, but the Colorado Rockies were on the cutting edge of pitching innovation. Earlier this season, Michael Lorenzen, known starting pitcher, known guy who wants to hit like Shohei Ohtani, came out of the bullpen and pitched. He's normally a starter, but he came out of the bullpen and pitched. Now, he only pitched one time. This has not been a regular for arguably the worst pitcher in the National League, but he pitched out of the bullpen on his side day. So I like this idea. And here's how I would propose this. Okay. You line your guys up, your starters up 1 through 6. And then you copy paste that row and you move it over. So your 1 starter aligns with your 4 starter, your 2 starter aligns with your 5 starter. So your 1 starter gets the bulk of the action. They are the bulk man. Your 4 starter for that day is your middle relief option. Seattle's bullpen has been questionable. Now part of that is a Munoz question, and I don't think Munoz sucks, but the results suck this year, so that doesn't really affect Munoz. But I do like the idea of if your pitcher is going to throw anyway, these pitchers have side sessions, they have bullpens in between their starts. Why not use those bullets at the major league level? These are really good pitchers, and Luis Castillo. That was my only pushback. I saw some people on social media, oh yeah, you can do this because asking Seattle to rank their 6 pitchers is hard to do because in any sample size, they're in any order. Luis Castillo is at the bottom of the order, no matter what section of the whatever time frame you're using. Like Bryce Miller sucked last year. Emerson Hancock sucked last year. They have been the 2 best pitchers for Seattle this year. Wu and Kirby have below average ERAs, above average FIPS. So are they going to get better by the end of the year, or they cooked? I don't know. Logan Gilbert's had a home run problem at times. So I like the idea. If you are having, for example, Brian Wu throw, a bullpen in between starts anyways, why not use those bullets in the 7th inning? If I'm, Dan Wilson, I'd rather have Brian Wu than my 6th reliever. I think there's some validity to that. Now, we can have quibbles with, would you rather have Luis Castillo going for his 4th inning or Andres Munoz? I would take Munoz. This is that's honestly a question with any old starter. And they're going to get a side session in any ways. They can throw after the game. If you have a situation that Bryce Miller is a perfect game going through 8, or it's a 1-0 game and you're just going to use your high leverage arms. Okay. So I would use your 6-man rotation and have the offset starters as like middle relief, not long relief. I would try to have a intentional long reliever. So you don't have a guy throwing 6 innings on his off day, on his side session. I would maybe think one time through the order. I don't know, a couple innings. So that would be my thought. And I think teams could utilize this strategy more during the postseason too. When you tighten up your playoff rotation, and I'll use the Braves as an example. I don't want to see Grant Holmes go through a lineup twice, but go through a lineup once, sure. Waldrop is in AAA right now. Maybe he can go through a lineup once, or Schwellenbach can go through a lineup once in October, or Smith-Shawver. And that is a more comfortable option than sending a guy out for a second time. And I'm sure other teams have this thing. The Dodgers can do this sometimes. They had starters pitching out of the bullpen, and that worked for them. It has worked for them the last couple of years. So I like what Seattle's doing. Hot take.
So I do want to say this really quickly here. I'm pretty sure my family is listening downstairs right now. And when you said, I agree with what the Seattle Mariners are doing, there was an audible cheer. So I'm very okay with that. Thank you very much for that.
That's a good thing.
But like I said, I don't hate the idea. I think that it is the ultimate ball of potential. It can really be something that is truly, again, the perfect balancing act. But the problem, again, that I just run into is I need to see it in action. I really need to see it in action because I love Luis Castillo. I think that, again, as a person, is a phenomenal person. He's also a great leader of this pitching staff. The stats are not showing what he needs to be doing, though. And that's the key point here, is that at what point does your ability as a leader not matter near as much if the on-field product is a detriment to your team? And I'm not saying that Castillo is at that point. No, I'm not at all. Is he been down? Yes. Not to the horrid levels yet. But you have to have that conversation at some point. But also, he's been a starter his entire professional career. I don't think it would work for him to move to the bullpen. I don't think he wants to move to the bullpen. I think they've actually tried and he may have said no already. That's something that you have to just kind of make do with here. And I think the biggest issue, though, is still to come with this team. And you brought it up earlier. It's Cade Anderson. How long do you want to keep Cade down in the minor leagues? Straight up. He has an ERA right now of under 1.3. An ERA, that number boggles my mind. It reminds me of Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens in the minors. You were getting legitimate comparisons at this point. How far do you have to go here to just continue leaving him in the minor leagues here when you have now 6 starting pitchers in major leagues currently? And yeah, I think the only thing that makes sense here is you do this kind of piggyback idea. But even with that, there's probably going to get an arm that gets traded at some point here. And that's the thing that you have to be really careful about as well, because this rotation has worked really well together as a 6-man rotation here. And getting rid of even one of them, I worry about how that could affect the morale of the entire rotation and the entire cohesion of the rotation, especially the one that has been your ace since 2022.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at Cade Anderson's stats, and he was basically untouchable most of last season at LSU, including that complete game shutout in the opening game of the College World Series Finals against Coastal. And this year, he has 82 strikeouts against 7 walks and 55 2/3 innings, 1.13 ERA. He's basically dominating everything double A's thrown at him. But we're at the point where, I mean, he might. Do you even want to call him up to AAA? Just have him bypass AAA? I mean, it's just, to your point though, is that this is such a tight knit group. I feel like, if you trade from the major league roster, it would be a mistake. And I'm talking about the main everyday players. I'm going to throw in those type of platoon guys like Dom Canzone and Luke Raley too. They are integral parts of that roster. But same with the starting pitching staff. You would not want to see a guy like Castillo get moved, I feel like, if you're on the Mariners. You won't want to see any of the younger guys like Kirby or Gilbert or Wu get moved, or definitely not Miller or Hancock either. So they're in this spot where they have too many starters for not enough rotation spots. So yeah, the piggyback concept, I think it's a good idea. But like I said earlier, I need to see how they execute it before I give like my final verdict on the whole idea.
Yeah, certainly it's the proof is going to be in the pudding. You know, the Mariners lead the AL West, and they should be considered to be heavy favorites, I would say. In the AL West, you're being chased by a team that can't pitch and a team that can't hit. The Mariners, at least theoretically, can do both of those things, even if Andres Munoz is trying his best to say no.
Although I will say, yesterday's game, Munoz was dominant.
He looked a lot more like the guy you expected him to be.
So here's the thing that was funny about yesterday's game is that you had both Logan Gilbert and Andres Munoz looking like they're supposed to look like. And now it just makes sense because they both got their emotional support Big Dumper back.
Yeah, and Big Dumper came through yesterday.
He did.
So it almost looked like the ideal Mariners game.
It really did, yeah. Well, it wasn't a one-run game, though, which is what they're apparently much more comfortable with, because
that's kind of weird.
Never not play in one-run games that make me want to rip my own hair out.
It'd be like that. So, yeah, it's great that the best catcher in baseball and Cal Raleigh returned yesterday. Speaking of the team playing Drake Baldwin right now and walloping Drake Baldwin's team right now, the San Francisco Giants, XYZ Ballin's dearest beloveds, they have some names that are being dangled as trade bait, and Logan Webb, who is not being dangled as trade bait. I have 5 names for you: Luis Rice, Robbie Ray, Rafi Devers, Willie Damas, Matt Chapman. And you two will give me 3 words on what happened, whatever you want it to be. You could say they stay, you could say they go, they could say they retire, you could say Arias goes and plays for the Venezuelan soccer team, who's not at the World Cup, but that's not the point. Whatever it may be. We begin with the hit king himself, Luis Arias. Mac, we begin with you. 3 words on Luis Arias.
Okay. 3 words on Luis Arias. Getting traded somewhere. He's a rental. All right. He's having a season way better than any of us could have expected, I think, really putting it together as a ball player. So I think because he's a rental, the Giants will want to capitalize on his value. I don't see him getting an extension in San Francisco. Buster Posey does not seem like the type of guy who would do that, especially with an underachieving team. So I think he gets traded. I don't know where exactly, but yeah, I think he gets moved.
Yeah. My 3 words are leaves the Bay. Yeah, he's going to be traded here. My first, I have no reason why this is my first thought here, but Chicago, like the Cubs, I felt like would be an interesting place for him. But again, he's a rental. So he's going to be going to a contender if he is traded at all at this point here. And I think in the National League, there's at least a little bit more contention, shall we say. The National League Central is such a weird division. They're good. There's a lot of good teams that have played, and surprisingly, it still feels like almost any team can win it somehow. But regardless, yeah, no. My main thing with it is that he will be traded because he's the perfect candidate to be traded.
Sure. My 3 words are World Series accessory. I think Arias would be a great infusion of a different kind of ball player from what a lot of the playoff teams have. And every year we get the same home runs win in the playoffs. And that is 100% true. I'm not disputing that. I watched the Braves win a World Series because they hit a bunch of homers. However, it helps when you're hitting home runs and a guy's on base. And Luis Arias is good at getting hits and getting on base. And when there is no home run pop in your lineup, Arias can get something going. He can, drive in a guy from second, move the runner over, things like that. So if you are creating, think of it like a bag, like a golf bag. You want different clubs for different things. Now, sometimes a driver can be used in every spot. You could technically putt with the driver, I guess, if you wanted to. However, you probably want a putter there. Or I guess you could hit driver out of a sand trap. You probably want a wedge. That's my thought.
I have to say one thing on it. I am notorious for doing driver off the deck. as we say, so driver like in the rougher in the fairway, but that's also because the course that I play at has a lot of trees with low hanging branches. So you want to be punching out a lot of shots. I hit one the other day that legitimately took my drive was so bad, but I was able to take the driver out of the bag and I did a perfect slice low underneath the trees and got it on the green. I'm like, you know what? Hey, sometimes the utility, you don't need the utility, but no, I absolutely agree with your analogy here. Yeah, I really like the golf bag idea of it because, yeah, you're probably not going to have your 7-iron here out of the bunker. You're probably not going to be doing putter off the tee box. If you do that, you're going to break your putter head.
Who knows? Who knows? All right, we go to a lefty who dominated earlier today as a bulk reliever, not technically a starter, Robbie Ray, Alex's favorite left-handed pitcher to face Yordan Alvarez. I will begin with Robbie Ray. Value is declining. He did pitch well today, but yeah, the season as a whole, it's not really been that productive. It's been a weird year because he is known as a strikeout guy, and the strikeouts are not there. His strikeout rate is below 1/9. His walk rate is really elevated. He has a 5.5 or 5.25 FIP. So if you look at his ERA and say, okay, 4.42 is not that bad. Maybe you just get him out of San Francisco. Now, not the ballpark. The ballpark is great to pitch in, but like the stink of the team, but he has a 5.25 FIP. He can't keep the ball in the ballpark. He's walking the whole carousel here. And I feel like he would be a great trade target, but he comes attached with a huge salary, and he's not simply a rental. No, he is a rental. My bad. So he's a very expensive rental, and he's been putrid this season besides today, I guess. So I think he would have made a lot of sense for a lot of teams entering the season. If you were on the Giants are a 70-win ball club wagon entering the year, congratulations. You were right. I was wrong. But his value has declined a lot this year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my 3 words are never enough pitching. Teams love their veteran pitchers. They just every year a contender goes out there, makes a trade for one of these veteran back end starters, and who knows, maybe they'll be like the 2021 Cardinals when their acquisitions were John Lester and J.A. Happ, both in the last years of their career, and they did well enough to push them to a wild card spot. And to your point, Splash, I also think his value is really low, and he's a rental. The opportunity for the Giants to trade him was last summer when they were doing a hard sell. And this year, again, they're doing a hard sell, but with now this is a guy who has significantly less value. So if they had traded him last year, even with the salary, I think they could have gotten decent prospect haul back. This year, you're probably getting some mid-tier prospects and maybe some cash.
Yeah. My my 3 words are not worth much. Yeah, legitimately, like, I don't see many teams are going to want to pay the salary of what it takes. It's like, they're not going to want to pay the salary of Robbie Ray and give up a prospect here. Because even then, like, again, do you really want to put on your roster spot a player that has been playing pretty darn badly and also has been linked to a lot of trouble within the clubhouse here too? So at the same time, like, why would you want to give up anything at that point here? Plus, I think the only way how they do trade him is they're going to trade him for a mid prospect and will have to eat about half the salary too, just to get something out of him here. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on the guy for my own personal biases, but at the same time, if you're paying $20+ million for a left-handed pitcher that you don't know what you're going to get that day, I feel like there's other assets that need to be assessed.
Sure. From one concerning veteran to another concerning veteran, Rafi Devers. Alex, we go to you.
My 3 words are, what happened, Boston? Legitimately, this trade feels like such a non-factor now after everything that has gone on. A guy that was touted as potentially being, an MVP level player and is now, it's really sad to take a look at the fact that his WAR this season is 2. Legitimately, you multiply his WAR by 10, and you still don't have what Luis Reyes has done this year. That is insane to me. Here, I don't think there's going to be a team that really wants to take a shot on him unless the price is going to be low enough, which, you know what? It might be for the money. It might just be. And maybe there's going to be a team that thinks that they can bring out the original Rafi Devers from Boston again. But it is a lot of ifs. It's going to be one of those moves that a team like, say, I'm not saying that they're going to here, but like the Athletics would do, where it is a gamble. It is one where you're not quite sure what you're going to get, but if the price is low enough, I think there's some teams that could be interested.
Yeah, my 3 words are no way out. Yeah, for both parties here, there's no way out of this. He's locked into a super long-term contract. He showed flashes of greatness with a 949 OPS in May, but he's had a sub 600 OPS in both the other months. I mean, this month in particular, he has a 594. In April/March, he was 537, and that he slugged under 300 that first month of the season. Congrats, you're leading the majors in doubles, and you still have an OPS plus of 101. So yeah, he's not getting dealt. I don't think anyone really would want to take on the contract. The complete lack of tools right now. Plus the fact he's 29. It's a tough sell, really. I want to believe that somewhere deep down there is a Boston Rafi Devers in there, but maybe he would benefit from a change of scenery. It's just I don't think anyone wants to take that gamble.
Right.
All right. My 3 words are Javi Baez Simulator.
All right. I see it.
The problem when you have a player with Devers' hit tool is that he swings at everything, and he makes contact with a lot of things. His strikeout rate is elevating. His walk rate has been cut in half from what it was last year. The Giants are particularly averse to walking as a whole ball club. The Hembo from Baseball Tonight has documented that. They have like the worst walk rate over expected since they moved the mound back. Like this is like 150 years. They're the least walking team of all time, basically. And Devers does still have power. He, like Max said, he leads the league in doubles. A 178 ISO is not atrocious. It's not exactly what you want out of a first base DH type. I think there is some good play in there, but it's going to be wildly inconsistent because Devers makes pretty hilarious swing decisions. And as he ages, I don't think his tool set is going to age particularly gracefully because it's not in an approach that you want. It's more of a Baez or an Ozzy Albies approach that, yeah, the swinging at everything is great when you can make contact with everything and you put the ball in play and you run a 315 BABIP for your career because half of your games are played at Fenway. But when you don't, and the strikeout rate is 26% last year and 30% this year, career high, and you're not drawing walks, you run into issues and you're hitting fewer line drives, you're hitting more fly balls, and you don't have the the speed to turn those fly balls into hits, and you're not hitting the ball as hard as you used to, so those fly balls aren't leaving the ballpark, then you get into a problem. So if he's under contract until 2033, not a real year, but that's the big problem. Mm-hmm. All right, we go to another underperformer. This is Willy Adames, shortstop. Mac, we start with you.
Yeah, my 3 words are big salary dump. That's the only way to get out of this point. Adames last year, I think, was still kind of a disappointing year. He did hit 30 home runs, and the big thing to, I mean, look, his OPS plus was 111. That's fine, but the big thing to me was that his walk rate was a career high 11.7%. This year, it is a career low 5.7%. And much like Devers, he had a strong month of May at 292, OPS over 800. His OPS is in the low 600s this month. It was in the 500s in April. And you look at his body of work in San Francisco, he has a 106 OPS plus, and he has 4 years remaining. 5 years remaining on his contract, making over $30 million in each season. The only way I see Willy Adames getting dealt is if he is attached in a deal with a different player, and they are willing to pay down that salary, because no team will want a guy making over $150 million over the next 5 years, who is a league average hitter at best. Actually, league average. He's at a 96 this year. So, yeah, no team is going to want him right now.
Yeah, I'm along the same path here. My 3 words for Willy Adames is same as Devers. Like, it's the same thing here where do you really want to take a gamble on a guy that has struggled and you're paying him over $25 million this year and for the next couple of years too? It's not a good look here. The only other comparison I could really put this to here that makes at least some sense to me here, this is the same as the Mariners Mets Robbie Cano trade. Like, it would take that level to get Willy Adames out of the Bay, I think, here.
My 3 words are older CJ Abrams. Now, you like Abrams now, and you have the athletic upside now, but you probably need to move him off shortstop. Willy Adames is just that arc, power hitting, some speed. But he's in the first percentile of outs above average. That's a -14. His sprint speed has diminished over the years. He's a little bit better of a runner than he was in Milwaukee, but not as good as he was in his Tampa Bay years. His strikeout rate, not good. His whiff rate, not good. His chase rate, inconsistent, but usually not very good. The bat speed is trending down from 2024. Expected batting average, bad. Batting performance this year, bad. Base running this year, bad. Fielding, bad. So you have to move him off of shortstop, which part of the value in being Willy Adames is that he can play for years and years. It was a adequate enough shortstop. Even outs above average had him 94th percentile in 19, 96th in 2022, 99th in 2023. I think 64th in 2024 is more fair of Adames. Didn't think of him as like a, Lindor, or Swanson or a current Bobby Witt level defender, just more like a good defender, like an adequate shortstop probably would be better at third, but you got to move him if you're trading for him, you got to move him. So maybe like that helps, I guess, the versatility, but you get the Bo Bichette question of he's learning a new position and is he going to succeed both learning a new position and hitting in a new stadium? I don't know. I don't think so. So that I would have my reservations about trading for Willy Adames. And last but not least, the best of the bunch this year, debatably, is Matt Chapman. Alex, we'll go to you.
Okay, I got kind of an interesting one here. Replaces Ryan McMahon. Here, I think he's going to go to the Yankees. I think the Yankees makes a lot of sense here for Chapman, here, especially with a bit of a short porch there. But again, right now, Ryan McMahon is listed as their main third baseman. Is he actually? I don't know. But he's listed right now according to MLB.com. And I'm looking at his stats this year, and it's not good. He's batting just .210 with an OPS of 624. For a team that is very much contending, not just for the division, but for a World Series again this year, I feel like this is another one of those moves that they can do because they have the budget for it here. Because again, one of the big things to take a look at here when it comes to Matt Chapman is the fact he's going to be making $25 million this year. I think that the Yankees will have enough of a prospect capital in order to make at least a move happen, because this is going to be the trade that the Giants, I think, are going to make the most off of here. Like, the difference between Chapman and Devers, even though they're making very similar levels of money, one is a more consistent bet than the other. Here, one is, I'm just going to be flat out honest, one is better than the other here. And that man is Matt Chapman. Chapman, I think, is a very, very fun option at third base here. And I was going through teams, and I was just like, okay, not this one. The Brewers, I don't think they need anything here. Teams on the East Coast, the Braves don't need them here. And then I was like, what about the Yankees? And I took a look, and I'm like, wow, it all just lined up like that.
Yeah, I mean, my 3 words are strike right now. If I'm Buster Posey, you are not going to get a better return on Matt Chapman than you will right now. And he had that slow start to the season, only had 1 home run through the end of May. He's batting .415 with a 1421 OPS, 6 homers and 20 RBIs, 9 walks against 7 strikeouts in June. if the month ended right now, he'd probably be National League Player of the Month. And that also includes him leading in total zone run value at third base on Baseball Reference. Baseball Savant doesn't like him as much, but he's still he's still above average there at third base. He still has the bat speed. I think overall his skill set, while he is 33, probably ages better than the rest of the trade candidates. So this guy by far will net you the best return. He is under control for 4 more years. I know that will take you through his age 37 season, but if there's a guy on the Giants that I am for sure trading, assuming they continue to flounder, Matt Chapman is right at the top of the list because he will get you something. And he will get you something a lot more than any of the 4 other guys will.
All right. My 3 words are raise salary floor. We're going to talk about the impending lockout, impending salary cap, whatever it may be. We'll talk about that a lot in the offseason. However, these teams, if you get a sense that they're going to have a floor, if you're the Pirates, if you're the Reds, for the A's, go add Matt Chapman. With the A's, it would be a reunion. I know Geloff has played a perfectly fine third base. He has versatility to play other positions. Chapman, you plug and play at third. Chapman is an upgrade over my GOAT, Ke'Bryan Hayes. Not with glove, but definitely with the bat. And Pittsburgh, in a lot of ways, he's also an upgrade over Ke'Bryan Hayes because they haven't found an adequate replacement. Nick Gonzalez has been okay, but again, Gonzalez, I would think is more of a utility player. And imagine you enter a playoff series. You're the Buccos, right? You haven't been to the playoffs in 12 years now, something like that. You enter a playoff series with an infield of Spencer Horwitz, who somehow always gets on base, Brandon Lau, who is going to hit 30 home runs this season, Connor Griffin, who was the number 1 prospect in baseball entering this season, and a perennial Gold Glover in Matt Chapman. That's pretty good. And your outfield of Brian Reynolds, who has been shockingly really good this year, 140 WRC or 140 OPS plus. I didn't realize that. O'Neal Cruz, as toolsy as it gets. Ryan O'Hearn was an all-star hitter last year. This year he's been more okay, 120 OPS plus. You got the Big Bear cheering him on, but like that's a real lineup. That's a real team. And one thing they have struggled with is defense, and Matt Chapman would improve the defense. Again, maybe not Ke'Bryan Hayes levels, but it's like 90% of that. So just saying, one of these Reds, Pirates, A's, make a move. Or here's an odd one. I don't think this would work as well. Jose Ramirez is out with a hamate injury. Guardians, pull the trigger. Maybe.
I mean, they've already linked up with the Giants on one trade this year.
That's true.
Might as well try again.
To be fair, like the first thought I had when I was thinking of trade targets here was actually the Athletics.
Yeah,
because I'm like,
that would make a lot of sense, man.
Yeah, it makes a lot, because honestly, the first 3 words I came up with were chips for Vegas. Yeah, as again, just another piece that'll be on, like, that you can use as a chip for going to Vegas and all that. So,
yeah, I mean, I think would be perfectly reasonable for the A's. Now, I don't know if the A's would actually do this, but I think it'd make sense. You have like the McNeils, the Geloffs, they are not, pinned down to one position. McNeil's been the primary second baseman, but he has played also third and right field and first, and he's played
also
left
just
some,
not getting the job done.
That is true, but you have the chess pieces to move around. It's like if you're Atlanta, for example, you have no use for Matt Chapman. You're entrenched at third base, or the Dodgers are entrenched at third base, or Blue Jays are entrenched at third base with Okamoto. That would be another reunion. But this could be a fun trade. The other ones I think are more like high-end contender. I think this would be a good push for one of those wild card teams or one of those borderline teams. Go get you a proven bat and a really good glove, and in theory, a good base runner. He's had some issues this season. He doesn't run as much since he's gotten his new contract. Part of that's age, part of that's not needing a new contract anymore. So who knows? Fellas, are we ready for trivia?
I think we are.
Let's do it.
All right.
Trivia
Boys
time.
and girls, ladies and gentlemen, our glorious Bid McPhee King is
go.
back.
We're
He is
back.
better than ever. The rules are here. The rules too. If you need an explanation, please watch the YouTube video. I have slides for this. we have 6 categories for today, and I have a tiebreaker. So if you happen to be tied, or we can do it at the end for fun, we have 6 categories today. They are World Cup themed. America, Canada, Below the Border, 3.5, Pay Attention, and Mr. Worldwide. I don't remember who won the last time, so Alex.
I believe I did.
Yeah, it was
okay,
Mac. Yeah.
sure. Mac, please pick a number between 1 and 25.
12.
Okay. Alex.
24.
The number is 9. Mac, you may choose first, or you may push the decision to Alex.
I'm gonna pick first.
All right. Take your category.
I'll do Canada.
Okay. Canada.
Oh,
Okay, Alex,
Canada.
you begin the bidding.
Okay.
Today's topic: Blue Jays to win a World Series game. There have been 11 of them. There have been a couple repeats. If you're watching, the Yellows, that is the same player who has won 2 World Series games, and the Blues, that is the same player who has won 3 World Series games.
Oh, okay.
Is this like pitchers only? Like they have the win?
Yes. This is the winning pitcher.
Oh, okay.
The Blue Jays have won 11 World Series games, 4 in 92, 4 in 93, and 3 last season.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll start the bidding with 1.
All right, Mac.
2.
Alex.
3.
Mac.
4.
McPhee, I don't know 3 either.
All right.
So I was
Mac,
on that
please
one.
name 4 Blue Jays who have won a World Series game.
Okay, great. Trey Savage.
That is correct.
Like to say Jack Morris.
That is incorrect. Alex,
What?
you lead 4-0.
Man.
The
Jack Morris
answers-
didn't win a game for them?
No. Shane Bieber, Tony Castillo, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Cy Young winner Pat Henkin, Jimmy Key
Al
twice,
Leiter got a win.
Al Leiter,
man? That's
Dwayne Ward
crazy.
3 times, and Trey Savage. So Alex,
Dwayne Ward? What? He was a closer.
Yeah, winning game.
He won 3 games.
He won 3 games? What?
Probably won the 13-12 game.
Oh, yeah, he did. Correct.
All right, Alex
Man.
with a 4-0 spot there. All right, Alex, you may choose a category.
All right, let's go America.
America. All right, Mac, you may begin the bidding. Americans to homer in the 2026
my.
WBC. To be
I will
clear,
also-
this is played for the United States. This doesn't mean like Freddie Freeman didn't play, but he's an American. He would have played for Canada. So
All right.
yellow, blue, those are players with duplicates.
Okay, and that's okay. So this season. All right, I'm gonna start at 1.
All right, 1. Alex.
So, okay, I just want to make sure. So you're saying that like 1 and 2 are duplicate, 3, 4 duplicate, 5, 6 duplicate, 7, 8 duplicate.
Yes, it's a player who hit multiple home runs.
Okay.
All
I'm going to go to 4.
All right, 4. Okay, Mac.
I'll raise the bar. Then I'll go to 6.
6. All right, Alex.
McPhee, go for it.
All right, 6 players. Name them.
All right. Bryce Harper,
Bryce Harper, 1.
Pete Crow Armstrong,
Pete Crow Armstrong, 2.
Roman Anthony,
Roman Anthony, 3.
Gunnar Henderson,
Gunnar Henderson, 4.
Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber, 5.
So wait, I've named 5 so far, and
Need
hang
one
on,
more.
I got to do some thinking for a second. So I said Roman Anthony, Gunnar Henderson, Kyle Schwarber, Pete Crow Armstrong, Bryce Harper.
You can say a player twice.
If I can say a player twice, then oh boy, I'm trying to think of who was it that hit multiple ones. I'd like to say Gunnar Henderson hit multiple.
That is good. 6 for 6 there, Mac.
Oh,
The answer's Roman Anthony twice.
oh my God, I completely forgot Aaron Judge somehow.
Yeah, I was like watching it being
Twice.
like, okay, he's going to say Aaron Judge. What do you mean you haven't said Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge twice, Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. All right, Mac.
Sorry, man. His home runs weren't particularly notable, if I'm being completely
You're not
honest.
wrong.
Fair.
Honestly, to be fair,
So-
Aaron Judge was the first one I thought of purely because his 1 home run came in garbage time. Well, what
Yeah.
pure garbage time.
All right, Mac. Would you like to choose a category or?
No,
get to
it's just his turn to choose a category. Yeah.
It's my. I'll choose Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr.
All right,
Worldwide.
Alex, you will begin the bidding. This is countries to produce a MLB MVP. Countries
Ooh.
here, you could qualify for the World Baseball Classic and play for that country. So, for example, Taiwan would count as a country here. It doesn't, or I guess it would be Chinese Taipei using WBC logic, or Great Britain would be a country, doesn't count here.
Oh, I was gonna ask because so the Netherlands would be like all of those Dutch colonies, like Curacao, Aruba.
Yes, Curacao would be different.
Okay.
Or Aruba would be different. So those are not like countries in the world sense, but they would be countries in a baseball sense.
So like we could use like teams like from WBC type thing. So like where it's like more of an area. Okay.
Yes. So like think like the World Cup, like Scotland's at the World Cup and England's at the World Cup and Wales has made the World Cup. But those would be United Kingdom if we're using like regular country logic.
Okay. Because I know like all those countries play under like the Netherlands, like Curacao and stuff like that.
Correct.
All right.
So I start the bidding?
Yes.
I'll start the bidding at 5.
5.
Whoa.
Mac.
I'll go to 6 then.
6. Alex.
Big fee, go for it.
All right. You gotta name 6 of them.
All right. United States.
That is correct.
Dominican Republic.
That is correct.
Cuba.
That's 3.
Venezuela.
That's 4.
Japan.
That is 5.
And then, I know. Larry Walker's Canadian. Canada.
That is 6. Congratulations, Mac.
Let's go.
The answer
I was on the verge of saying Puerto Rico. I wasn't 100% certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the ones that you named were ones that I knew here. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I did not think of Puerto Rico or Panama.
Yeah,
okay,
so
Panama,
Canada,
I believe
Cuba, Dominican Republic, Japan, Panama, Puerto Rico, United States, and Venezuela.
Is it Rod Carew?
Yes, Rod Carew.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Mac, you may choose another category, or you can pass.
Give me below the border.
Below the border, Alex, you will begin the bidding. The 10 Mexican-born pitchers to make the All-Star game.
Ooh. That's actually difficult.
My bid is going to be 3.
3. All right. Mac.
Ooh. I'm going to go... man. I really want to raise the bid, but I don't know if I can name 4. McPhee.
All right.
I can't believe I caved
Alex, you must name 3 of them.
Okay.
To be clear, starter, reliever, all pitchers.
Starter, reliever doesn't matter on that. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Andres Munoz.
That is correct. You need 2 more.
Okay. I'm trying to remember if he's actually Fernando Valenzuela.
That is correct. You need 1 more. And to be clear, this is born in Mexico, like baseball reference, born in Mexico. Like Randy plays for Mexico, but he's Cuban.
Yeah. Okay. This is where I knew 2 of them. It was about the 3rd one.
All right, Alex. Chips on the table.
Yeah, chips on the table. I'm going through teams right now that I'm like, okay, this could be it. This could be it here. Oh, I don't think he was ever an all-star. Oh my gosh. Why am I forgetting the Mexican team? Okay, I'm just gonna do a shot in the dark here. Antonio Senzatella.
He's there mid all-star game.
That is
I didn't know I couldn't remember if he had an all-star game or not.
So Mac, you take a 15-4 lead.
The name that popped in my head was Joaquim Soria.
That is correct.
Oh yeah.
Marco Estrada, Giovanni Gallardo, Teddy Higuera, Esteban Loaiza, Aurelio Lopez, Sid Monge.
Oh yeah, Gallardo.
Roberto Osuna, Joaquin Soria, and Fernando Valenzuela. All right, we have 2 categories left. Pay attention and 3.5.
Am I picking again?
Yeah, you still won. Yeah.
Pay attention.
All right, pay attention. This is from the group chat. Name the top 10 in career hits per 9. So were you paying attention when I was blabbering on about it the other day?
Two.
No, Alex begins the bidding.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
2.
2. Okay. 3.
4.
5.
McPhee, go for it.
All right.
Okay. Nolan Ryan,
That is correct.
Jacob deGrom,
That is correct.
Freddie Peralta. That's the one I remember.
That's correct.
Oh boy, now I have to do some digging. Because I forget what the qualification for innings pitched was.
Like 2,500.
Oh,
There's
boy.
one reliever on this list.
There's one reliever. Okay,
Yes.
great. I'm trying to remember if it was like which reliever it could have been.
Since I'm not answering, do you mind if I take a quick look on the group chat?
I don't
This is
think
on
I put the reliever in the group chat.
Yeah, but I can still look at the list.
I guess.
You said wait, what'd you say the innings number is?
It's like 2,500 or whatever it is on Baseball Reference.
500. Then oh my god.
Or not 25, like 1,000 maybe then.
If it's 1,000, then
Yeah, because relievers, a couple relievers are on there.
is it Craig Kimbrell?
That is incorrect.
What?
Alex, you get the 4 points.
It's 5.
5?
Yeah, 5.
Okay, sure thing. The answers: Jacob deGrom,
Andy Messersmith. Oh, I should have gotten J.R. Richard, man.
Sid Fernandez, Trevor Hoffman, he's the reliever, Clayton Kershaw, Sandy Koufax, Channel 17, Andy Messersmith, Freddie Peralta, J.R. Richard, Nolan Ryan, and Blake Snell.
Yeah, oh my god. I should have had that.
All right.
It's all good.
We head to our final category. Alex, would you like
Is
to
it
start the bid?
what's the score right now at?
It is 15-9. Mac leads.
Okay, so I need 6 points to tie.
Yes,
Correct.
we do have a tiebreaker.
Fair enough. All right, let's take a look ski. Yeah, so I will I'll do the first bid then because it's the
Sure.
last category. So.
Sure. Pitchers with 3,500 strikeouts.
Okay. I'm gonna do my bid at 5.
5. Mac.
I'll go to 6.
All right, Alex.
Thank you for taking the bait, McPhee.
All right.
I
You got to name 6. If you fail, we go to a tiebreaker. If you succeed, you win 21-9.
All right. Nolan Ryan,
That is correct.
Randy Johnson,
That is correct.
Steve Carlton,
Yes. 3 more.
Roger Clemens,
That is correct.
Max Scherzer. I believe he just got there.
Yes, he was the impetus.
Oh, and now we reach the point where I'm trying to remember if a certain player has actually reached 3,500 strikeouts. If multiple players reach 3,500 strikeouts, because I don't know how many innings one of them threw in his career. I'm going to take a shot in the dark here because I don't know if he actually got that many strikeouts. Walter Johnson.
That is correct. You win
Let's go.
21-9. Burt Blyleven, Steve Carlton, Roger Clemens, Randy and Walter Johnson, Gaylord Perry, Nolan Ryan, Max Scherzer, Tom Seaver, Don Sutton, and Justin Verlander.
I wasn't sure if Verlander actually.
When you
hit
said that, I'm not
35.
sure if you made that. I knew you were talking about Verlander.
Yeah.
All right.
Because Scherzer just reached it.
Would you
and then
guys
we're
like
back
to
on
see
the
the tiebreaker?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that was fun.
How many World Cup winning countries can you name?
0.
I think I can name like a couple of them. I know Brazil's up there. Brazil, Argentina, I think Italy,
Yeah.
France,
Yep.
Spain,
Did
I'd like
Germany
to
win
say.
Yeah. Germany, yeah.
Germany, yeah.
Okay.
Germany beat Argentina one
Yeah,
final.
that's what I was like. I remember that one.
Nice.
The last 8 or the last 2 would be like a toss up for me.
This is gonna sound weird. Did Japan ever win one?
They've never been to the semifinals.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
no.
don't know anything about the World Cup. I'm sorry.
I don't think they've even won a knockout stage game.
I know they were really. I know they've won the Women's World Cup. They have not won
Yes,
this
they
World
beat
Cup.
the U.S. in 2011.
U.S. Yeah.
All right, the 8: Argentina, Brazil, England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and Uruguay.
Uruguay. Okay, I would not have gotten Uruguay. England, I know, invented the game. It makes sense there.
1966. It's coming home.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for indulging.
Of course. Thank you for making it. I love it.
I
love
like
this game.
that.
This game is so much fun.
It's a lot of fun, yeah, and I appreciate that there was like a theme there. So
Absolutely.
All right. Fellas, it is now time for our moment to ourselves. Would anyone like to go first? I'll go first then.
All right. I'll count you
Count
down.
me down, please.
3, 2, 1, begin.
I would like to talk to FIFA. Why don't you have World Cup standalone games anymore? I've been playing 2010 FIFA World Cup South Africa today. It is 16 years old. There are players who are signed to Major League Baseball teams who are younger than this video game. Lamine Yamal is like a year older than this game. It was made with passion. It was made with love. It was made with intent. I can play with the Turks and Caicos Islands if I want to. But now, in FIFA 26, it's not called FIFA 26 anymore, EA FC 26, you can't play with Turks and Caicos. You can't play with Antigua and Barbuda. And I'm not saying I go out of my way to play with these teams, but having the option, having accurate rosters, having the jerseys from almost 200 countries in a game 16 years ago, and now, like, I played FIFA 18 World Cup mode. It didn't feel special. It felt like just an add-on because it was an add-on. I didn't play in 22 and I haven't played this year, but now it just feels like an add-on because what makes FIFA money is Ultimate Team. Same thing with Madden, same thing with NBA 2K, every college football. What makes money is the Ultimate Team. What doesn't make money is the passion that people put into these games. And I'm not saying they don't have talented people. EA has talented people. 2K has talented people, and their passion can come through at times. But you play these older games. It's on the Wii, so it's not as good as the Xbox One. I love the Xbox One. I love the 2014 one. I played that all the bloody time. You can't have qualifiers. You don't have qualifiers in modern FIFAs. It's just, you can play the World Cup. There's a couple extra teams, like the teams like Italy, who's already in the game, but they didn't make the World Cup. Teams like that. This game, you can play with San freaking Marino. You can play. I beat all 10, CONMEBOL countries. I can beat all dozen Oceanic countries. I can beat all 50 African countries, all 50 UEFA countries, all 45 Asian countries, all 35 CONCACAF countries. Like, I can play St. Kitts and Nevis versus Andorra, but in a modern FIFA, I can't even play like Ghana versus Jamaica. Like, two countries that have made the World Cup. One country that won a World Cup game today. Sports games in general, I think the monopolization, for lack of a better word, like I play MLB Power Pros. That game was made with love. That game was made with passion. That game was made with care. And I don't play MLB The Show because you don't feel the passion. You don't feel like it's not someone's life goal to make a great baseball game. It's just a baseball game. That's the bare minimum now. It's just a baseball game. It has MLB license. That's cool. You can play with Ronald Acuna. That's cool. I have to make Ronald Acuna in my game. Whoop-de-doo. I have to make sure he looks I make sure his swag looks right, his hair looks right, and his or if a player wears an earring or eye black or whatever, I have to make sure that looks right, I guess. But I make that with passion and care. And modern sports video games have just not done that. It's just for the money. And I'm sure there are people out there that would pay a premium price to play a World Cup specific game. You could charge $60 for it like normal, and plenty of people would buy it, I assure you. And that's every 4 years. You just get maybe not a full 25% boost to your sales, but a decent boost to your sales. I'm sure the Euros would have the same sort of thing. In Europe, obviously. And it just pains me as a fan of video games that the quality, the graphics are better, cool, but the heart and care and love and passion is missing.
I absolutely understand that as someone that has worked in the games industry for the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I get it.
And I'll be straight up. I have not downloaded MLB The Show this year. And a lot of people are telling me I should hold off on that for a reason. Which kind of hurts my soul because for a while the games were getting better. It really peaked during the pandemic, I guess, though, because Pandemic MLB The Show, MLB 20. Man, that was crazy. That got me through that whole summer.
MLB 19 and 20 were absolutely great.
Oh my god, MLB 20 is the game I played, like the version of the show that I played by far the most.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
All right, who would like to go next?
I'll go.
All right, Alex.
All right, so
3,
I'm counting down. Okay. Yeah, that'll count as a countdown. All right. Splash, take out your earbuds for a second here because I'm going to talk about Donovan Andrew Danhausen for a second. I am so proud of this human being. He has been someone that has gone through so much and right now is getting that 15 minutes of fame and is really putting everything he possibly can into it. This is a guy that legitimately a few years ago was on TV with AEW, not that much. Here, he had a couple fun little feuds and that was it. Now, he's on ESPN having conversations with Stephen A. Smith. He's invited to the Knicks playoff winning parade. He is now there's merchandise on the NBA store that has Danhausen's name on it. That is mind-boggling to me, but I'm so happy for the guy. Like, again, I use his real name here. Donovan Andrew Danhausen is his real name. And the guy, I've heard so much about him where he has worked with so many younger talents about trying to figure out like what they need to be doing, what to do. He is so respected in the community right now. He has been respected from the community. Both wrestlers and fans alike love him. And I am so happy that this guy that was supposed to be just a comedy one-off guy here is now making the absolute most of the opportunity that he was kind of serendipitously given here. Whereas, like, let's say the Mariners' Etsy Witch here, Spells by Luna, went away for a while because, they were getting too much attention here, right? Danhausen has gotten the attention and has ran with it. And again, maybe that's just the showman in him, and I respect the absolute heck out of that. This is a guy that is a professional wrestler in the era where right now the only wrestlers you will see in the mainstream are either retired Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns. And it's funny because you will now say, like, all right, in the media, you're now seeing Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Danhausen. One of these three is not like the other. I'm just happy for the guy. The guy has put in his dues over and over and over and over again. Finally gets a shot here and has ran with it more than I think even he thought he could do. He's gotten a few opportunities. He's made a few opportunities for himself here. And now he's in a NBA finals winning parade. He has now done several videos with other hockey teams now and has become more and more of a sports sensation somehow. I love him. I absolutely love him. Danhausen, keep on being you, man.
Yeah, I mean he's right in the spotlight right now, man. And he's making the most of it. Yeah, it's awesome. It sounded like maybe this is just like all right, he's in the spotlight for a second. We'll see what happens, and then he's going to be at the parade, which is crazy.
I still love the fact that there is a Jalen Brunson and Danhausen signed piece of merch that is being sold in the NBA store. That if you would have asked,
wonder how much that goes for
in the last 2 years, if that was going to be a collaboration, nobody would have thought that, and it's absolutely beautiful here. No, I'm just so happy for the guy. The dude deserves it so much.
Mac, it's your time to shine.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
All right. I'm sure everyone is going to be shocked at what I want to talk about. Last 10 days or so have been awesome. I got to celebrate the Knicks championship while I was down in DC. My brother happened to find a bar. Well, DC is a transplant city. There are a lot of people from all over the country, all over the world that lived there. But my my brother and I met up with his friend and one of my friends from grad school. And we were at a bar called Grand Central. And it was mostly New York or New Jersey transplants. And it kind of felt like we were in New York. It was basically everyone there to watch the game. I met someone who literally grew up in my neighborhood, grew up 2 blocks from where I went to elementary school. It was really just an amazing moment. I think Karl Anthony Towns summed it up perfectly on the Tonight Show. Literally it has united all 5 boroughs. Mets, Yankees, they're divided. Jets, Giants, they're divided. In basketball, even Brooklyn, they have a basketball team. They are behind the Knicks. So they've earned this. The city's earned it. And it's just really awesome. Like I said, to see the entire city come together. I think the city should be relishing this. Who knows, the next time they're going to get a parade. They waited 53 years for one from the Knicks. They obviously, the Liberty got theirs in 24. The NYCFC had theirs. But before that, the Giants were the last team to get one. That was back in 2012. So cities go a long time without getting to celebrate a championship. New York has this opportunity here. Just please don't do too much damage to the city. We know how rabid New Yorkers can be.
No comment.
Eddie got a comment there.
He had a good comment there. Yeah, absolutely.
No comment.
Just as long as Danhausen gets enough human monies, then
I will say I was in DC. There's some other guy I met up with. Forgot the guy's name. Shout out to the people who I went to the National Zoo with my family, and I was wearing like what I was going to wear to the Mariners game. And shout out to the 2 people who ran behind me and yelled "Go Mariners." That was pretty funny.
Let's go.
It'd be like that.
There were a lot of Mariners hats at the zoo. Okay.
Yeah, Mac and I did have hot dogs with cream cheese on them.
Yeah, we had the Seattle dog.
Curious.
Man.
They're like $15, which like I would try it again, or I would, but like a $15 hot dog is hard to sell as other than a novelty. So that'll wrap us up for today's episode. June 17th. Can you believe it? We're over halfway through June. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, do all the YouTube things. You can check us out on Twitter or Instagram at LAR_baseball. You can check me out at Mr. Splashman19. Mac is at Mathias_A_K. And Alex is at the Sports Guy 242. And for all of us at Losses Above Replacement, we hope to see you next week. That'd be cool. Peace.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! It's a home run!